In other news now, the race to rescue 15 miners from a collapsed mine in the northeast Indian state of Meghalaya has entered its third week, and in the latest development, 15 Indian Navy divers are being airlifted to join the rescue operations. And well, a heavy lift transport plane of the Indian Air Force carrying 7 high-powered pumps landed this morning at the Guwahati airport in neighbouring state of Assam. From there, the equipment was taken to the mine where the miners are trapped. Earlier today, a 20-member fire service team from Odisha left for Meghalaya. The team is carrying pumps and equipment to help in the rescue operations. In an Air Force Hercules jet. Meanwhile, Coal India is sending high-capacity pumps from its mines in Asansol in West Bengal and Dhanbad in Jharkhand. And Coal India is the world's largest coal miner with expertise in operating heavy pumps. It took a week for the district commissioner of East Jaintia Hills, however, to send a letter to the Meghalaya government for acquiring powerful pumps. Rescue teams have been struggling to enter the mine for the want of equipment, and the water levels is far from receding, and the authorities say that water pumps are needed to clear the mine.
The water level is not going down. We require more pumps. Administration is deploying more pumps. As the water level gets down, we may again start our operation. Still, we are doing all that, and we are going down to take and measure the water level, whether it is going down and down.
Other news now, and hundreds of residents of a swanky new multi-storied apartment in Sydney have had to vacate their homes because the building seems to have developed a crack. This is the tower in Sydney's Olympic Park that was first evacuated on Christmas Eve after a strange cracking sound was heard, and the emergency team had evacuated the tower and neighbouring areas. Fearing the building would collapse, the residents moved back in but have now had to vacate their homes for a second time in 5 days after a crack appeared on the walls. This would, of course, mean that residents are forced to spend both Christmas and New Year's out of their homes.
I feel it's terrible because we just moved here 1 month ago. Then we almost spent the night out because we have 2 kids, 2.5 years old, and it was a surprise for Christmas. And then new surprise.
Think no one can trust because they force people to go back to the property like in the same night. And today they're standing in front of us, and then they say everyone have to leave the building.
And the builder company called Icon confirmed that a precast concrete panel had cracked in the building, but there was no other crack. As a precaution, they have asked residents to stay out for at least 10 days so that a prompt investigation of the building could take place. This led to a heated meeting with the residents.
In the first place, you ask her to live back. Now you ask her to evacuate again. So 10 days is just an estimation. So how long should we wait?
And the builder maintains that the tower remains structurally sound and that the relocation was just a precautionary measure. The company is providing accommodation for all the residents.
So we're after the residents to leave now so we can absolutely investigate every part of the building unobstructed as quickly as possible. So, for us the secret is getting the answer and determining what we need to do to not replicate what happened on level 10 and implement that as quickly as possible.
And while it is surprising that residents in a multi-million-dollar building are not safe, but that Australia's housing laws have allowed developers to flout rules. Developers can receive certification from private developers, and they often choose and pay their own private certifier. This process puts huge pressure on builders, and to cut time and costs, and builders end up overlooking long-term safety norms for financial gains, it seems, in Australia as well. And well, we bring you now a story about how a 71-year-old adventurer from France is eyeing to cross the Atlantic Sea on a barrel. Now, the French sailor Jean-Jacques Savin is eager to test a new way of crossing the Atlantic Ocean on a wooden barrel without any engine, sail or even a paddle.
France's Jean-Jacques Savin has embarked on an epic sailing journey across the Atlantic in a specially designed barrel capsule that will use ocean currents to propel him across the sea. It's a 4,500-kilometer journey to the Caribbean, which Savin aims to complete in 3 months.
The goal, maybe to prove that I've still got it. And I've got a daughter who's rather young, so I can't allow myself to be a grandfather already.
The 71-year-old Frenchman will drop markers from his capsule along the trip. The markers will help international oceanographers to study currents in the Atlantic Ocean. Measuring 3 meters in length and 2.10 meters in width, Savin's barrel capsule is made from resin-coated plywood, heavily reinforced to resist waves and potential attacks by orca whales. Updates on Jean's journey are being posted on his Facebook page. He raised 60,000 euros for the journey largely through crowdfunding.
Here is the water which will be facing me when I am sitting at the card table, which is here. I have very few instruments, but the ones I have are very precise, particularly the iridium with the tablet. Here is a hold where I have all my provisions for the first month. Here's my sink with my electrics, my fishing rod which is also tied down securely. On this side I have a net which will cover everything. Here is the hole for all the provisions for the winter. Here is my living room. There is my bed with straps which will allow me to tie myself down, and the fish will be my television.
Jean's capsule is equipped for his journey. Among his stores, a block of foie gras, a bottle of white wine for New Year's Eve, and a bottle of red wine for his 72nd birthday on 14th of January. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.